Welcome to episode 2 of my mini-series of Spiritual Awakening and Demystifying the Spiritual Awakening. So, before we begin, we are going to anchor ourselves into this present moment. So join me as we close our eyes and begin to maybe place your hands on your body wherever feels good. Just take some breaths in. So in through the nose, blowing out through the mouth. So I want you to envision breathing in light and blowing out dark, anything stagnant, and releasing it back into the earth to be transmuted into love, into light. One last breath in through the nose and exhale. Open your eyes. And we are ready to begin. I'm going to continue to start each episode with a little grounding practice, just so that way we can remind each other that the spiritual awakening path it's an embodied path. It's not just an idea. It is actually embodying what we wish to achieve, which we wish to achieve grounding before we set sail on this on this series. Okay, so in the first episode, I've got my laptop here because we got notes. In the first series, we talked about, really what is a spiritual awakening and what that might look like and stuff. So if you haven't seen that one yet, make sure you catch that one as well. But today we're going to be talking about grounding our light. So grounding, let's make sure to discuss what grounding is. Grounding is anchoring into the present moment so that way we can not get overwhelmed. So grounding doesn't require any special rituals. Nothing. I want to keep this simple for you. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. I remember that from high school. Keeping it simple. So grounding does not have to be anything fancy. That's why I love it so much. So the purpose, why grounding matters, okay? Grounding matters to keep you connected to your body by touching the earth and from getting overwhelmed. Because it is so easy for us as humans to just get caught up in the day-to-day things. And what ends up happening is that we just continue to bounce around and we're just in a frantic mood because, we wake up, boom, they need us, the kids need us, and we got to go. You got to make breakfast or you got to get backpacks and go. And then, okay, you drop the kids off. Maybe you rush off to work. Okay, you're rushing off to work. And then at work, let's say you got a bunch of things to do. So, and so forth and so on and so on. So you feel the energy of that, the way I was talking. It feels like you're bouncing around and you're doing this. And we are earthly beings. Why else were we put onto earth other than to connect with the ground beneath us? Literally. Why else do we have feet, right? I mean, I'm going to go there. I'm going to get weird about it. It's like, why would we be blessed and put on this earth with the soil, with our beautiful bodies that are able to do these magnificent things? I mean, don't even get me started. The body is self-healing 100% from everything. So if that doesn't give you a little clue about how magnificent our bodies are, that tells us that, a simple thing is grounding and connecting back down to source and back down to ourselves is completely achievable. It's easy. That's why I want to talk so passionately about it, because if it's going to save you in the long run from living a life that is completely out of alignment and overwhelmed, because I've been there, and what I see is you can only go so far before your body puts the brakes on, You're going to be stopped one way or another. And if you're not going to listen and ground every single day, or at least weekly, or at least every other day, then the universe is going to stop you in your tracks with illness and with, lessons that are going to make you stop. So I'm going to talk about 5 easy techniques that you can do daily. Easy. You can pick one. You don't have to do 5. You don't have to do all 5. You can do 1. That's the cool thing. So it might be 5. It might be 4. We'll see. We'll see when we cross that bridge. Okay. So the first and my all-time favorite and easiest way to ground is definitely putting your bare feet on the earth, walking barefoot, or you could even touch your hands to earth. That, now you'll have to look up the science because I'm not going to get into the science of it, but there is scientific facts that the body discharges positive and negative ions. There's a transfer between the earth and us that happens that allows that scientific thing to go on. And it's actually, it's true. It's cool. It's not only has science finally proven it, but you can feel it. I can physically feel. It's a sigh of relief. It's that decompression. It may feel uncomfortable at first if you have not been grounding, if you have never grounded, like intentionally. I mean, we're always doing it. What happens when we go camping and when we're out in nature and when we're being one with nature? You always feel so calm, right? That you feel so just, not a care in the world, right? That's what grounding is. And so when we're barefoot, it's that deep sigh of relief. It's that comforting hug. It's that your nervous system is able to be like, I'm safe. I don't have to be in fight or flight. What? Like, I get to just arrive at this moment and do nothing. And that is so good and so resetting for our nervous system. Because I'll be honest, I get it. It's not attainable every single day unless that's what you want. Then I'm not going to say no. But in reality, I'm going to speak to the people that most likely are working every day, who are parents, who have very demanding responsibilities. It is what it is. That's why we came to the earthly experience, is to experience those things as well. But when you get the chance to incorporate these grounding practices into your day-to-day responsibilities, that's where the spiritual awakening path is key. That's where you're understanding, whoa, like there's something more than to just running back and forth to my 9 to 5 and then cooking dinner and then plopping my head on the pillow and dreading that I didn't get to do anything that lit me up today, you know? Okay. We're gonna put a pin in that and circle back because I don't want to get too off on a tangent. So that first technique is just walking barefoot. Another technique, which I also enjoy, is mindful breath. So I live in Texas. It is hotter than hell outside. I've got a fan. I don't know if you can hear it. I have a fan out here right now. There's mosquitoes. There's bugs. So there's rain when it wants to rain. It is not always possible to go barefoot in my backyard, even though it breaks my heart when I don't get to do that. So, but that's okay, because I can tap into that grounding essence to my presence with breath. And that's the freaking cool thing, is that I want you to break the stigma of the fact that grounding means going outside and touching grass. Because when you begin to get so tapped in and so, consistent with returning to this grounding practice, you realize that the grounding can be done from within. Like, I can sit here and I can tap into the breath and I can focus my intention on bringing my energy back into center. So find your center point wherever that is for you. Maybe it's your energy center down in the red area, the root chakra. And you can tap in there and bring your energy there and ground within yourself. Yes, grounding on earth is absolutely amazing, but when we are in a pinch, it works just as good. Touching dirt, if you're inside, this is if you really have no access to grounding techniques outside of you. I would encourage to keep grounding crystals around your house. That would be like tourmaline. What else? Let's think. Red crystals. So carnelian is also a grounding crystal. Petrified wood. Petrified wood is my favorite grounding crystal. I love petrified wood. Any crystals that are of the deep dark color, like a red or something like that, that can also help you ground, or like the brown, the blacker ones. Clear quartz is always a good one. Clear quartz, you can charge it, you can hold it and charge it with the intention to hold the energy of grounding and rootedness. Super easy. Crystals love to help you out in that way. But if you have like no absolute access, you can also, so that was 3, touching dirt or like grounding crystal. Touching dirt, I'll be honest, I'm not touching dirt and plants. I'm not just walking around like, I know. I'll be honest. I do like grounding crystals though. Crystals. You put crystals inside your pots too, your plants. All right. I think this is 4. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sensory check. Notice 5 things that you see. 4 things that you feel. 3 things that you hear. 2 that you smell. And then 1 that you taste. So that one, again, I'll admit it's not a common one that I do, because the walking outside and grounding barefoot is just so easier. But if you are, again, in a place where you can't touch earth, or where maybe you're flying on a plane and you are literally, quite literally feeling ungrounded, maybe you have a crystal with you and you're taking your time to look around, the 5 things, 4, and then that allows your mind to come back, and it focuses one intention, because you're focusing your intention on one spot in one area. So you're focused on finding different things, but it like draws your energy back in, which that's the intention, because when we're ungrounded, our energy is like this and it's dispersed and it's just going crazy. So with the intention with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is to pull you back in, focus your intention on one certain thing at a time. And it's also counting you back 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 until you're like, okay, I am here, I am present, and it's okay. The last thing is to visualize roots growing from your feet and into the soil. So again, breath is super powerful, and visualization is super powerful. I know a lot of people are not able to visualize. It's actually quite common. If you're not able to visualize, it's totally normal. Some people just can't do it, and that's fine. But if you set the intention as well, let me just talk about the visualization first. So visualization is, you're going to close your eyes, and again, you're going to envision that roots, literal roots, are growing out of your feet and reaching to the soil. For me, I begin to feel it physically, actually sensations in my feet and the soles of my feet. You may feel it, you may not. But that intention, setting the intention and visualizing roots growing from your feet into the soil, will do the same thing. And again, all of this is allowing you for a moment to slow down, take a second to put some intention into this, whatever you're doing. And it brings the energy of calm and groundedness, and I am rooted. And when you root, make sure you also focus on intention of why you're doing this. Is like, am I coming back to myself? Am I detaching from the drama of the world? Am I, focusing on how my body is feeling? Whatever your intention is, try to pick an intention to why you're grounding in the first place. It's just going to amplify it even more. So those were the 5 tips, kind of things that you can incorporate every day. Again, I'd love to hear which one works for you. If you want to let me know down in the comments, I'd be super excited to hear which one works best for you, because everybody's so different. So I'd love to hear, pick one, and I want you to try it each morning this week. So this morning, my choice was to go and step out on the grass. The mosquitoes weren't bad. Woohoo. And I grounded for a little bit, put my feet in the soil, took a few breaths, and grounded. So I want you to try one of these for 1 week and take notes either on your phone or in your journal, and write down the difference in how you feel before and after. And if you feel compelled to share, like I said, I would love to hear some feedback and how grounding works for y'all. But I encourage you to have fun on this journey and to experiment and to not be afraid to try new things, and just know that you are always connected and there is nothing wrong with you. You are arriving at your presence, and you're arriving at your understanding that you are so much more than just a meat suit. You are a beautiful spiritual soul and a being of light. So I encourage you to hold that deeply to your heart. Sending you much love and much light. I will see you for the next episode very soon. Bye, guys.